Welcome, gamers, to Basement Arcade Pause Menu, the show where we just sit down, hit pause, and just chill and talk about video games. I'm your host, Ben Magnet, and with me today is one of my awesome bros from the FakeNerd podcast, Ryan Eliopoulos. What's up, buddy?
I'm at E3!
Oh my god, that's totally what we're talking about today!
The lines are crazy, there's no masks. I don't know, it's crazy in Los Angeles, Ben.
Yeah, it totally is crazy in Los Angeles, but Ryan, it's not just the two of us today on Pause Menu. No, returning to Basement Arcade Pause Menu, she is a good friend of mine. She is an amazing cosplayer. She is one half of the duo for Adults Talking Anime. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Inga Draper.
Oh.
How's it going, Inga?
Oh, hello. Yes, just the one today, but that's okay. I got opinions. I got thoughts.
You got thoughts.
You guys can be my anime siblings today. Welcome to the family.
We're all siblings in anime. That's how it works.
I'm totally fine with being an anime sibling. You know me. I love anime.
Exactly. We're just gonna extend out the family. Welcome to it.
We're anime video games, so it only makes sense.
Exactly, for sure.
That's true. So today's show. Normally we just like tangent and rant about something, but we have a little bit of a structure today because we're recording this right before E3 has started. E3 hasn't started yet. This is going to go up before E3 starts. So myself, Ryan, and Inga all have predictions for what's going to happen at E3 2021. And I mean, I'm glad that we're even getting an E3 this year because E3 last year due to the pandemic, things are working up. The city of Los Angeles, their COVID rates are going down, which is good. People are getting vaccinated, which is also good. So it's good to hear that E3 is happening. Of course, there's still gonna be a lot of virtual stuff. They're gonna be posting a bunch of their stuff online, which they always
Oh wait,
do.
This is in person? They are doing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're doing like a limited person one.
Gotcha. Oh, well, that's even better. Yay, E3.
Yeah. So, Miss Inga, you are our guest here. So I'm gonna ask you, if you can think of one thing off the top of your head that you would like for E3, what would it be?
Honestly, I would love for them to announce the actual second part of the Final Fantasy VII remake. So not Intergrade. Intergrade. I know they won't because what they're going to talk about is Intergrade and what they're doing right now. But honestly, if they like right at the end was also like, and Final Fantasy VII Part 2 is going to be coming out October 2022. Like I'd be like, oh, that's what I would love to see happen.
I would love that for the world, Inga, but considering Intergrade is like still coming out, I don't have faith that second part is coming anytime soon.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Specifically because they're doing an upgraded version of the first part, which means they're taking resources from that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole conversation of another thing of like, oh, this is going to be a game that's never going to finish potential.
Oh, gosh.
It's like 4 years per game.
That's
and it's
so
like
long.
a 4-part game. That's a great prediction. And I wouldn't be surprised if they tease it, but I don't think they'll set a release date because I don't think they want to do what they did for the first part and make us wait like 3 years again.
That's true.
But I do think a tease is possible. Yeah.
I was thinking actually it was like 4 years when they announced Final Fantasy VII remake, and then every E3 past that, it was nothing. Until the 5-year anniversary. It wasn't until 5 years when they finally give us like a release date. They finally give us more concrete answers of what was going on. Because I remember everyone was talking, or not everyone. So many people were like, "Are they going to show 7? What's going on with 7?"
Yeah,
I think actually I forgot about the remake for a while.
Then we talked about it on the podcast. We talked about it for years. Because if you remember, like the initial game, they restarted it because they weren't happy with it. That's what took so long because they got like a new director and they restarted the project. So that added like another year onto it. I'm glad it's out, but man, they should not announce games 5 years early because that's
too long. So one of my friends and I actually went and saw I want to like not Spirits Within, but whatever the Final Fantasy musical tour is called. And they actually, it was during the time of E3, but I almost want to say this was maybe 4 years ago, but they were showing clips of the game while they were playing music for the new version, but they were like coming soon, and everybody was so hyped up. But then it was like 2-3 years later when it actually came out.
Oh wow. All right, Ryan. So Ryan, no predictions, but off the top of your head, what is something that you would love to see and you would freak out about at this year's E3?
Oh, so if it's not going to be one of my predictions, just like something off the dome. I would love if BioWare is one of my favorite game companies. They make like Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic and stuff. There's a rumor that Knights of the Old Republic is getting remade, like a Shadow of the Colossus remake. And Knights of the Old Republic is one of the greatest RPGs of all time, and there's so much Star Wars lore that they can remine from. So that rumor's been persisting for years. I didn't put that down on my predictions, but I will say if I see a Knights of the Old Republic, I'll lose my mind.
That's a Old Republic that could definitely use a remake.
There's a super prominent like game journalist who like he's a guy who like when he confirms rumors, they're always true. And he confirmed this rumor. He's like, no, they're working on it. It's just when is it coming out? It could be years from now. So like, I just hope it's this year. I hope they just tell me it's coming. Hey, it's coming next year. We've been working on it for a while because I love Star Wars and I love old stuff.
Nice. So do I. Well, speaking of old stuff, I too love the old stuff. And Capcom is going to be at E3. This is not one of my predictions. This is just me being, hopefully Santa's will be nice for me since I was a good little boy this year.
Yeah.
Ryan, you know this, but Inga, when we would do our holiday episodes, we would have like a holiday wish, like something we would wish to happen.
Yeah.
Ryan got his wish finally, which was a Mass Effect trilogy being remade in HD.
That's amazing.
3 years ago, my Christmas wish was, can I please get the Mass Effect trilogy again? And they finally did it.
Wow, I love it.
And one of my Christmas wishes for, I want to say 2 years, is I want Capcom to re-release the Mega Man Legends games. Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 and the Misadventures of Tron Bonne. Not maybe announce the canceled project Mega Man Legends 3, but at least re-release Legends 1, 2, and Misadventures of Tron Bonne for modern consoles. That hasn't happened yet. Capcom is going to be at E3 this year. So my wish is that we get some form of re-release, like the Mega Man Legends Legacy Collection, because we have Mega Man X, and Mega Man Z and ZX Legacy Collections. All great games, all of them. Okay, not all of them, because I'm looking at UX7, but great collections with really good games in them. And I'm just like, cool. Stop keeping Mega Man Walnut under the bus. Get him out of the closet. Just like give us what we want.
Yes.
Or give us what I want.
Is there because Sonic had its 30th anniversary this year. Is there a Mega Man anniversary that's coming soon that they might be waiting for?
35 years, and I think it's gonna be in 2020. Oh no. Okay, let's see.
It's not soon though.
No, Mega Man came out in 1997.
Oh, that's weird. Not to throw a wrench in your thing, because this may not be true. This is maybe a rumor. I don't know. Rumor has it, but they're talking about how they might do something for the 35th anniversary of The Legends of Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly for the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, if they're doing 35.
Oh, yeah. People have been talking about, people have been saying that they're going to re-release like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask for the Switch.
They should, but I don't think they will soon.
I don't think they will now, but one of the things I'm hoping for is they re-release or they kind of do Link's Awakening, but in the style of Link's Awakening, the remake, and come out with Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. That came out in the Game Boy Color. Yeah, the Game Boy Color games, because those games, I mean, they're meant to be played as one. So just like put them out and then just like, hey, which one do you want to play first? And then you just like, oh, you play this one first. Now you can go directly into the second one, and they seamlessly intertwine.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for, because Zelda has a big 35th anniversary and everyone's like frothing at the mouth for something.
Sure.
I'm ready. I might have predictions about Zelda.
Hey.
I don't ever. I mean, it was when I was thinking of this list, I was like, "Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, wait, that's also a good one."
There's this list of 5 could have been like 50. Like honestly, like I made it small so we wouldn't be here for 10 hours because I knew I could talk about this all day long.
Honestly, this list could have been a lot longer, and also half of it could have been Nintendo. But I stopped myself for only limiting myself to 2 Nintendo predictions.
That's
I definitely tried to get something from all aspects, like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, because like I like it all.
I tried. All right, let's get these predictions. I will start our prediction train.
Great.
So the first thing I wrote down is Bethesda and Microsoft. They are now buddies. And now that Microsoft is in control of Bethesda, we can only assume that Microsoft is like tapping the whip. They're like, you better hurry up and make sure that thing ain't buggy as all hell. So I want to say it was 2 years ago they announced that they're working on the Elder Scrolls 6. So I'm going to say this year they're going to show a little. They're not going to give us a release date, but they're going to give a little bit more on the Elder Scrolls 6.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ben, I'm gonna hurt your feelings here real quick because when they announced Elder Scrolls 6 2 years ago, they announced it with a teaser trailer saying we're not going to show you anything for years because we're working on another game called Starfield. Starfield is what's coming out this year, and this is what we're going to see at E3. Starfield is their big sci-fi open world RPG. Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming out until 2025.
Wow.
They literally made that. They said, hey, we're only telling you it's coming out so you stop asking about it. But they've been working on Starfield since 2017. So that's the game that's coming out next year that we're going to see a bunch of stuff this year. That's why I didn't make a Bethesda prediction because I know Starfield's the game they've been working on for literally 4 years. Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. It's coming when Grand Theft Auto 6 also comes, which is in like 5 years.
Jeez, that's so long.
Bethesda proper, they make a game like every 5 years. They made Skyrim, and then 5 years later it was Fallout 4, and then they haven't made a game since.
Wow.
Because they made Fallout 76, but that wasn't them. That was their sister studio, and that's an MMO. So they've been working on Starfield for basically almost 5 years now.
76
cannot wait.
The main studio for Bethesda was in Dallas because I watched the Internet Historian video on this quite a few times.
I love it. Good job.
Because the main studio for Bethesda is in Dallas, and then a different studio is over down in Austin where they made Fallout 76, and of course we all know the kerfuffle there.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that game's getting better. It's not there yet.
Which is good. Good for them. Yeah. Good that it got better now instead of just continuously being a garbage fire.
That's funny.
All right,
Inga, why don't you go next?
Go me, huh?
Yeah.
See, I tended to stay around Sony and Final Fantasy.
Stay with what you love. It's cool.
I misunderstood the the assignment. No, I guess so. Mine are really more rumors than predictions. None of mine are like super concrete, other than the fact that I hope that they did something better than what they showed us with the release of with their drop of Final Fantasy 16. I know that they're going to drop another trailer for Final Fantasy 16. I just really hope that it looks better. I don't know. This storyline seems really uninteresting, and I hate to say that only because I love Final Fantasy and I would love to continue to play them until I can't. But I know that they're going to drop another trailer, and I'm just really hoping that it's mine is I hope it's better. That's it. I hope that trailer is better.
I understand that sentiment because the last couple of Final Fantasy games have definitely they've tried to do different things with all of them. Because Final Fantasy is a thing of like, it's like magic and technology, that kind of thing, but they fluctuate how much they want to choose on each. Like Final Fantasy 15 is a modern game with magic. That is not a Final Fantasy game when you think about it. So Final Fantasy 16, it is going back to like the original roots of Final Fantasy of being like a dark fantasy thing with like wizards and magic and shit. So it immediately isn't. It's not what I immediately want for a Final Fantasy because it's not progressing in the way that it has been.
Yeah.
But it does visually look like a PS5 like big thing. So I'm like, I also need to see more. I think it visually looks cool.
Yes, I agree.
But I agree. I do need to see more to see like, is this the world I want to be in right now? Because I like the other stuff you've been doing.
Yeah. It feels a little too, which of course it's nothing they can do. They've already worked on this. I don't know if they set the actual release date on this game, but I know that they're going to bring it up again because people are either really excited about Intergrade or not that excited about Intergrade. And then
I pre-ordered it.
Did you? Did you?
I didn't play it.
Did you? Oh, so you didn't play 7 at all, the remake at all? Okay, that makes sense.
I played it for 1 hour, and then I liked it so much that I realized that Intergrade was coming out in 1 month, so I stopped playing to just buy that game.
That makes sense.
Because I got it for free. I got it for free on PS Plus, so I didn't actually buy it. So I bought the new one.
Wait, are for the PlayStation 5 or for the 4?
For the PlayStation 5, you get the 7 remake on the PS4 for free with PS Plus. And then now that I got a PS5, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna actually complete it with Yuffie and everything.
Yeah, I feel the need to. Is this going to be the game that makes me buy a PS5? I don't know.
Man, it's real nice. It's hard to get one.
So funny enough, it's like funny that you mentioned Final Fantasy 16 because Final Fantasy 16 is one of my most hyped games.
Really?
I don't know. So go little history lesson. When I was really getting into Final Fantasy, I started playing Final Fantasy 10 and 7 like way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was playing Final Fantasy 10 and Final Fantasy 7, I was like, and I looked at screenshots for Final Fantasy 8. I was like, man, I would like a Final Fantasy like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the futuristic aspects. I like them living modern times, but they still use swords and magic and everything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I want kings. I want kings, queens. I want knights, and I want all that stuff.
Kingsglaive?
Something like that. Then Final Fantasy 12 gets announced, and it's already set in one of my favorite Final Fantasy worlds of Ivalice because I love the tactics games.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, hey, you're in a war between 2 different kingdoms. I'm like, okay. I mean, yes, you have some flying ships, but it's not like where 10 is like, it's weird. 10 is this weird mishmash. So I feel it's more technology sided. Whereas for 12, I can still see is like, no, you still got the medieval stuff and they're both fantasies.
10 is such a mix because that's like about like you being like a pirate on a ship and like you're fighting like your dad who's a giant like Satan fish.
Yeah.
But also you're like a soccer player underwater, so it's definitely it's a Final Fantasy game.
I'm not dissing 10 by the way.
I love 10.
It is an amazing Final Fantasy game. I absolutely adore and I love it. And that's the game that got me into Final Fantasy games. But with 12, I was like, this is the aesthetic I want. This is the story I want. I know everyone kind of jokes about 12 stories, like it's just Star Wars but medieval. I'm like, well, what is it?
12 is good. 12's good.
I love 12.
So the combat is different and good too.
It is, yeah. Now with Final Fantasy 15, I love Final Fantasy 15. That's one of my top Final Fantasies. I mean, the story, it kind of isn't the best. I just love the world. I love the combat. I love exploring. I love all that stuff.
Yeah,
I just love driving around with your bros, taking pictures, fighting like giant monsters. Like that's.
Don't forget camping out and just cooking a bunch of food.
Cooking a bunch of noodles, like noodles that are sponsored by actual noodle companies. Also, the food in that game looked real. That food looked so good.
It did. It totally did. But for 16, I feel like a return to form.
Interesting. Wow.
Because I feel like because I know when they did Final Fantasy 9, they said, hey, we're doing a lot of stuff with like the future and modern technology. Let's go back to medieval times or medieval style sort of thing.
I love 9 though.
Yeah, then we got 10, 11. They did it with 12 because 12, they're like, hey, let's throw in Ivalice because that's a really big thing right now. And with 16, I kind of like it I love it when Final Fantasy does new stuff. I honestly to God do because it's new, it's different because if it's the same thing over and over and over again.
It's annoying.
You're at 16. Like you have to do something new to keep the audience alive, right?
But I am because like when I first saw the trailer for Final Fantasy 16, I was hyped. I was just excited. We're getting a new Final Fantasy. It's not
also magic toys.
It's not like a remake. It's not like a side story. It's a new numbered Final Fantasy.
And the designer of it, the director of it, worked on Final Fantasy 14, the MMO, and people love that MMO so much. Like the story stuff, like and MMOs like have like good story stuff, but like apparently the Final Fantasy MMO has like an actually good Final Fantasy story that's like really great and impactful. So they moved that guy onto the Final Fantasy 16. Like, hey, make our next game because you rule, and we're gonna give you like unlimited budget, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So Inga, funny you should mention Final Fantasy 16 for a trailer because that's one of my predictions is that they're gonna give us a longer trailer and announce the first release date. I don't think it's gonna. If they do announce the release date, I don't think it's gonna make said release date.
Yeah,
because with modern AAA games like this, they normally like push it 2 or 3 times.
Sure.
But they're gonna give us a release date, and they're gonna give us a longer trailer with more story.
Well, I hope it's good.
And hopefully with more polished gameplay.
Yeah.
Because when we first got it, it was like they did say it was very early footage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, it still looks a little rough around the edges, but I would be lying if I said I was not hyped for Final Fantasy 16.
That's funny. I want to feel that though. I hope that that's what this trailer does drop.
Yeah. I think if the combat continues to improve like it has from 12 to 13 to 15 to 7 into 7 remake, like again I played that for an hour, but like that combat's awesome. You can do it however you want. If they keep that combat, then I'm gonna play the game because games are for gameplay first of all. Like I'm at a point in my life where like I love JRPGs, but turn-based RPGs that are like 100 hours long, I don't have the time for it anymore. So if I have active combat, that makes me so much more engaged. And I like when I get older, I'm sure I'll return back to turn-based RPGs. But for now, I got to be action-packed, baby. I don't got time for that.
I mean, I have a few older Final Fantasy games in my collection that are still turn-based that I still want to play through because I can still do a turn-based RPG, but I completely agree. Turn-based RPGs, you gotta grind, you gotta go through multiple battles, you gotta do so many. It takes a long time.
I just bought Persona 5 Royale on PlayStation because that's like one of the best RPGs ever made for like the new PlayStation. It's got like great reviews, but that's like 150 hour. Like really, like that is 150 hour turn-based RPG where you have to talk to everyone, you have to grind, and I'm like, oh man, I'll get to there when I'm 40, I guess. Like, how the hell am I ever gonna do that?
Yeah,
I started it and I have not. I haven't. I have not gotten through it.
I don't want to start it because I know I'm gonna want to beat it, and I'm like, oh, I don't have 7 days.
It's weird. The only it's all right. It's not weird because I like turn-based RPGs, but now. A lot of stuff that is turn-based, if it's a turn-based tactical RPG,
yes,
that on the other hand, I am like, give me like Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That should have been in one of my predictions. New Final Fantasy Tactics. Tactics has been quiet.
Oh, Ben, no, because we have that Project Triangle game. Remember, that's a tactics game.
That's true.
I don't think they're gonna do competing tactics games on the same platform.
Oh yeah, and Square Enix is making that one too, right?
Yeah.
You're right.
Because that game looks sick. That's just a tactics game with a different coding.
That looks amazing. It doesn't have to be called Final Fantasy Tactics, but it does look amazing. Just the art style, just everything about that game looks so good.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
I'm gonna predict now.
All right.
So I pretty much gave 2 of my predictions, which is Bethesda that got shut down in Final Fantasy 16. So Ryan, give me another one. What you got?
Woo! I got some good stuff, you guys. So one of my favorite franchises, it's called Bioshock. And there was a Bioshock that was not announced, like we saw it, but they said, hey, we're working on a new Bioshock like 3 years ago. And that game's been silent. And that game is definitely happening because that's a franchise that just doesn't stay dead. Every big franchise comes back. So I predict that we will see the next Bioshock teased at the C3. We won't get a release date. Maybe we will, but I don't think it'll be coming out soon. But we will see it, and I'm very excited because I like Bioshock.
Okay.
I got all 3 of those games because they were for free on PlayStation Plus. I got them all. Haven't touched them. Or at least they're on my hard drive. They're on my hard drive. They're my PlayStation name. So when I get my PS5, I get all my data transferred over. They're still going to be there.
Yes.
Bioshock's a spooky, so be careful, Ben.
So I've heard.
It's scary.
It's got some spooky stuff. Oh yeah.
So I have heard.
I'm trying to get into horror games, but I am a chicken. So.
Oh my gosh, Inga, do we have a month for you? Every October we spend the month playing horror video games with Ben because he doesn't play them and he just gets spooked. It's great.
Yeah, so funny. I feel you on that.
Yeah,
All right, I got something in the same vein. If we're talking about games that we think that might come back, even though there has no real announcement, Spyro, the Spyro series. It's been a long time since we've seen him. I know Activision also does, Call of Duty and whatnot. And I feel like I heard something that Call of Duty they're doing another big release this year, maybe next year, all of the years. But I don't know. I feel like I read somewhere that it could be time for Spyro to pop back up. That the makers are going to be at E3 anyway, so it could be a thing.
Crash Bandicoot has been he got a new game after his remakes, and Spyro had that whatever it was called, like the remaster,
the Reignite trilogy.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, Inga, I think you're 100% right because we got that new Crash game. So I 100% believe.
Time for Spyro.
We'll get a new Spyro game. Yeah,
he's so cute. I hope he does come back.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh no.
Right when the Crash game came out, it has sold well. It's done well. Activision does what Activision does, and they took Toys for Bob and they put them on a new Call of Duty project.
That's right. But did Toys for Bob make Spyro?
No, they made Crash. They made the new Crash game.
So the Spyro people might be safe. They haven't been turned into Call of Duty people yet, maybe.
They might, but if Big Daddy Activision can do it to Crash, they're probably going to do it to Spyro because they know what makes more money, which is the Call of Duty franchise.
They did it to Tony Hawk 2, that Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake that is like incredibly well received and made a lot of money. They put those people on Call of Duty, or no, they put those people on Overwatch 2. Like, man.
Oh, well, maybe.
No, Overwatch 2 is great, but like, it just makes me sad. Like, hey, you guys are doing something great. Let's take you off of that thing to put you on this like under the meat grinder, where it's like just 10,000 people working on it. I'm like, man, that's always a bummer.
I still need to get Tony Hawk 1 and 2 because quick tangent. Tony Hawk is an amazing game. I freaking love that game. That game got me and probably so many other 90s kids into skateboarding.
Sure.
Holy crap! I legitimately got a skateboard because I love playing Tony Hawk. And every day after school, my mom was like, sure, go outside. Because she was just happy I was outside getting exercise. I'm trying to get all these. My brother built a ramp. He built like a plywood ramp.
Hell yeah.
And I was too much of a chicken to drop down on it. But we built it, and we tried skating on it, and we weren't that good, but we did it.
Are you ready to hear the tragedy of Darth Ryan, the skateboarder?
Didn't you lose didn't your skateboard get stolen the first day you got it?
No, it didn't get stolen.
It got run over.
Oh no! So Inga, just like super quick, like, I got a skateboard because I love Tony Hawk. And then I was just riding it in my grandfather's apartment complex, and it got away from me and it got ran over the same day I bought it. So then I didn't become a skateboarder. So thanks, random SUV.
My first skateboard, I got it for Christmas. I was still happy because I wanted a skateboard. It was like a cheap Malibu skateboard that my parents got at Kmart. They didn't go to like an actual skate shop and get me like the $80 decks, like, one every kid wants because everyone wants the Birdhouse Tony Hawk deck.
Yeah.
But I loved that skateboard. And then my dad played softball at our local park. So, of course, I brought my skateboard there. And I brought it for weeks. And then just one day, we all did something. And I left it there. And we get home. I'm like, where's my skateboard? And then we realized, oh, no, it's back at the park. We go back to the park. And it was gone.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Someone saw, hey, random skateboard. Yoink.
Yeah. They're like, that's for me.
Skate now. Yeah.
I got another one down the line, but it still wasn't the same.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't have any skateboard because it never was a thing I got into. I feel like the other half of Adults Talking Anime did. His was rollerblading, but
it's all right.
Everybody went through that.
Mine lasted literally like 6 hours. It's okay. Who's next? Who's next on the prediction train?
Let's see. Inga. No.
Back to me? I said I did the Spyro that led us into this tangent.
I'll go. That's right. You did Spyro. Okay. Wow. Well, we actually have a structure. I completely go all over the place. All right.
Hey, I'll go. All good.
Okay. So we all know that Capcom is going to be at E3 this year. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned earlier how I want them to give me Mega Man Legends 1, 2, and Trombone, and also Mega Man Legends 3, because damn you, Capcom. How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I miss about Capcom are their fighting games, not just Street Fighter.
Sure.
Because don't be wrong, Street Fighter, amazing series. It's been around for over 30 plus years, maybe 35 years. Actually, 35 years. Street Fighter is good. You know what else is good? Marvel vs. Capcom. You know what wasn't good? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That wasn't that good of a game. You know who made some waves in the retro gaming world a few months ago when he posted it on Instagram when the PS5 came out that he wants a certain video game back? Michael B. Jordan. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be a thing, but he wants Marvel vs. Capcom 2 back. I want Marvel vs. Capcom 2 back. I think it is high time that game gets an HD remake.
Listen, if Creed wants a sequel, we get a sequel. Oh, that's how it works.
That's true. If somebody big enough just asks for it, it happens, right? I think that's how that works.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually one of my more of a Hail Mary prediction. So one of my predictions is Capcom is going to announce a new fighter because I know they're still riding high on Resident Evil 8, but there really isn't much of Resident Evil stuff to announce because it's already out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that they're gonna either announce a new fighting game. It's probably not gonna be Marvel vs. Capcom, but if they do, my money is gonna be on a remake of Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Mm-hmm.
Either a remake or a re-release.
I would die for 2. 2's the right choice, Ben. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I love Marvel vs. Capcom 1, that is an amazing fighting game. Arcade 1-Up, they put it on their X-Men Street Fighter compilations, which good. But NBC 2 is one of the biggest video game rosters. 3 fighters all in one go. I don't get me wrong, I still enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate. That's still a very fun NBC game. That's still a really good fighting game with bonkers anime, with bonkers combos. But Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that perfected it.
Yeah, if those sprites, they're a little dated, but that's just because it was literally the 90s, but they still look good. If you can just give a fresh coat of paint on those sprites, I'm 100% with you, Ben. I don't need you to do another super good looking 3D modeled one. Give me the old school one that looks really, really good. Because that's what Guilty Gear and games like Final Fight, those are all 2D fighters still. And those are the best looking games out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat looks real, but it doesn't look as good as really good 2D sprites. It's just, there's something about the old school game that's you just can't beat it. 100% agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they don't know what they're doing with that franchise anymore.
I mean, it's a prediction. It's one of these predictions that's if it does happen, cool, but I'm not going to be mad if it doesn't. It's really just me. This prediction was kind of me. It's what do I want? But I think it's Mega Man Legends. I don't feel like it's feasible because I think Capcom just wants to get as far away from Legends as humanly possible. I don't know why. It's part of the Mega Man mythos. They release toys when they do toy deals for Mega Man Legends. They release Mega Man Legend toys. I have a little. He's way over there. Actually, hold on. Let me grab him.
Hello, yoink.
I have this little guy. This little Mega Man Walnut right here.
Oh, he's cute.
Little cutie.
This was from a Japanese toy line. I forgot what it was, but a guy was selling these at Comic-Con a few years ago. Yeah. And they had Mega Man Walnut. So of course I got Mega Man Walnut. Mega Man Walnut is in Mega Man's final smash for Smash Bros. So he's in the Mega Man mythos. So come on, Capcom. Give this guy more love. He deserves it.
Tweet about it every day. Every single day. Get something going. If you can get people behind it, it might happen.
It's bring back Mega Man Legends.
Exactly.
Hashtag do it, Capcom.
Do it now.
Hashtag Capcom, can you back Mega Man Legends 3? Goddamn you.
Respond.
I believe it'll happen. It just seems like something an event. It's I don't understand sometimes how businesses are hey, what makes us lots of money? Things that people like. Why don't we just keep putting those things out? I don't get it. Because sometimes we get a Call of Duty every single year. I don't need a Call of Duty every single year. But you know what I would like? Maybe a Mega Man. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Okay, I don't think a Mega Man every single year would be good. But
you know what I mean? Some franchises, Mega Man's a dead franchise in a way. They don't keep putting games out for that thing.
Well, they did. Mega Man 11 did come out a few years. Okay, it came out a few years ago.
Mega Man 11 came out years ago, man.
Yeah, it did. But that was a good game. That was
absolutely.
It was a great game. It was a great return to form.
And then they could have done way more of them because it was successful, and they didn't.
It was, but they had.
Dumb.
Yeah. What the hell, Capcom? What the damn hell?
I'm saying stop making Call of Duty. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna go now. Guess what? I'm wearing a Zelda shirt, and it's not for no reason. There's a teeny weedy little game called BOTW. It's Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
That got announced 2 years ago. And I 100% believe that we're seeing gameplay of it and announcement for it this E3. It's funny because when the original Breath of the Wild came out, it came out the same month as Horizon Zero Dawn. And now we've seen the Horizon Forbidden West trailer. So I know we're going to see a Breath of the Wild trailer because those games are getting made at the same time, just like they were last time. Please don't release them at the same month again. That's how you destroy sales, guys.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
strategy. Horizon was the one that failed because everyone wants a Zelda game.
For sure.
Horizon's still good. Play it. We're getting a Breath of the Wild 2 announcement, a trailer. Like, we're going to see gameplay. I think it's going to be multiplayer. I think they teased that. I think you are going to be able to do stuff with Zelda and Link at the same time in the Breath of the Wild world. I think it is going to be a Link to the Past, Link's Awakening situation where we're going to have the same world that's going to get reversed, because I don't see how they can make a Breath of the Wild style game that big in that scope in this little amount of time, like 3 years. So I think it's going to be that kind of situation. That's me. I'm sticking to it.
That's pretty good. I actually had something about Breath of the Wild too, but it was on my little piece of paper, but it was literally just that it was going to be announced. Yeah, that it's going to be, it's coming. We're going to hear about it. It's going to be a thing.
I don't think it'll be this year, but I do think it'll be early next year.
I don't think, I agree. Breath of the Wild 2 is probably going to come out next year. And we are definitely, I didn't put Breath of the Wild in my predictions list because everyone knows that's coming. Like the last Nintendo Direct that we had, the producer straight up says, like, I know you want something. You're going to get something. Not today, but later. I'm like, okay. Because we all knew the second that Skyward Sword was announced back in spring, it's like, all right, so they're saving the big ones for E3. They're saving the big ones. This is just like to sate our palate for a while, to hold us over until the big giant buffet that is E3 coming out, or that's coming up. So I'm actually kind of hoping for multiplayer Zelda, because when I got Breath of the Wild, there are times Fanny, my girlfriend, she would actually text me when I would get home from work before she did, and she texted me, is like, whatever you do, don't play Breath of the Wild yet. I'm like, why? And she was like, because I want to watch you play it.
Oh,
so you played Mario Odyssey, right, Ben?
Yes, and she played with me.
Yeah, so there's a multiplayer mode. It's not exactly 1-for-1 where there's two Marios, but there is a helpful mode. When I think of Breath of the Wild, and I think of the hundreds of puzzles that I did in that game, you know what I thought of? I thought of Portal. Ooh. And I thought of Portal 2, and how Portal 2 is one of the best multiplayer games of all time. And if you have a bunch of shrines that you have to do co-op with, that'll be the best thing I've ever had in my life. Are you kidding me? Portal 2 in the Zelda world? That blows. If that's what that game is, I'm going to lose my mind.
Have you guys played Genshin Impact at all?
No.
Yes.
Okay. So Genshin Impact is what people compare a lot of like Zelda Breath of the Wild. They're like, ooh, this is apparently Genshin Impact is what they would want it to be. And their co-op, because the game is like not even every month, maybe twice a month, there's like a new like patch and upgrade on this game. So their co-op, their co-op mode though is pretty incredible, especially with the open world, which is what reminds me very much of Zelda. Zelda. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it'd be really interesting if they pull some of that, where it is really nice to be able to be like, I cannot beat some of these dungeons. So to have somebody come in and be able to co-op it with you is super fun.
And this is again just like all rumors and stuff, but that teaser trailer, it had both those characters in there, and like that doesn't mean anything, but a lot of people are just like, all right, maybe they'll do something wild here, and like I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping for it. I think that'd be wild.
Do you think they're gonna call it Breath of the Wild 2, or do you think they're gonna call it something else? Because normally, even with actual sequels like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, but they call it Ocarina of Time 2.
I bet they'll call it something different, but I think it'll be like a Link to the Past, Link Awakening thing, where maybe one of the Breath of the Wild words will be in the new title, but like a redoing of it.
Actually, hold on, because there was one game that did have a number sequel, and that was Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link for the NES.
Oh yeah, that's a completely different type of game.
That is a completely different type of
side scroller.
It is, yeah. That's
the first Zelda I ever played, and then I was like, "Oh, this isn't what the game's like."
Sorry, I keep looking over there. My cat is probably trying to not mess up, but
I got two cats and they're just licking each other over here. You don't want to. They're just going hard. Like, oh my God.
One is chasing the other one, and one is a lot smaller than the other one.
Oh yeah.
Suki, get back here.
Inga, you got another prediction for us, maybe?
Prediction
or just whatever you want, whatever it's called.
It's like rumor. No, I guess if we're still talking about Nintendo in general and the Switch, I guess the rumor has it, or possibly that they could be something they may be debuting, is the Nintendo Switch Pro.
Oh, Inga, the rumors are too hot for this one not to be true. Too hot. This is so true. If it's not true, then like someone's getting fired.
I mean, I don't really know what the difference is, other than, I mean, I get bigger screen, great. 4K.
So it would be bigger screen. It would be more resolution, better battery life. Kind of like just going from like a PS4 to PS4 Pro. It's not a huge upgrade, but enough years have passed where they're like, okay, we can release a new system, but not the next full system. So like
so it's like the in between. Okay.
Yeah, it's in between. So I don't have a Switch like my roommate does, but like now if there's a new better one, then I'm gonna wait to get that one. And I'm cool with that. Like, I'd love a bigger, better screen because the Switch is an incredible device.
Oh, I'm obsessed with it, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, the Nintendo Switch Pro, or what I'm really hoping it's called, the Super Nintendo Switch.
Super Switch? Be good. Yeah.
I would. Because I feel like calling it the Nintendo Switch Pro because we have the PlayStation Pro. I just feel like calling it that is kind of lame. And this is Nintendo. I mean, I know it's not a sequel to the Switch.
Sure.
Nintendo does some stuff. It's like, just call it the Super Nintendo Switch. Just call it the Super Switch. I call it the Super Switch because it is a Super Switch.
Oh my god! They'll take the Wii U model and they'll call it the Switch U.
Or even if they call it the
I don't want it.
Oh, and actually, no, they better not call it the Switch 2 because they call it the Switch 2. That implies it's a completely new console. And
it's gonna be called Switch, again.
Yeah. Nintendo's got some weird naming things for it. But besides the name, obviously they're gonna release the new Switch. I'm gonna keep calling it the Super Nintendo Switch.
I like it.
They're gonna announce the Super Nintendo Switch, maybe with a release date for Christmas, because these rumors have been bubbling for a while, and the best time to obviously get or release a new console is in November for the holiday season.
November.
This might be the only time, and I can think of in my life, where I immediately upgraded a console while my current one still works, because my current one works fine. It does its job, but there are times where I'm doing handheld. I'm like, you know what? I could use a little bit longer battery life because it cuts it. I mean, because I like playing on my dock personally. I like playing on my TV. But
me too.
I also enjoy playing it in bed, and it's like I would like a little bit of a bigger screen. It's because sometimes when I was playing Fire Emblem on handheld mode, and after I'd be playing it from the TV, I was like, it looks smaller. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it's like, I don't know, I just can't get more of that detail.
There are some games, and I absolutely love the Switch for being able to be on your TV and immediately a handheld, like whenever you want. But there are just some games that I don't want to play handheld. I do not want to play Legend of Zelda on a handheld thing. That's just me, because that's a big open world like exploration game that's very beautiful. I don't want to play it on a tiny screen, but that's just me. Pokemon is something I would play. Pokemon's something that's turn-based that I would play on my Switch, because that's like literally playing a Game Boy.
Yeah, I would definitely. Oh man, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I mean, I would play when I first got my Switch in Breath of the Wild. I would be playing Breath of the Wild on handheld mode in bed when it's like super early in the morning, so like Fanny's asleep and I just want to play my games.
That's a good reason to have it too. Like people are sleeping, you don't wake anyone up. Yeah,
but I completely agree. Playing Breath of the Wild on my Switch in handheld mode, I'm like, man, this is awesome. But then every time I put it on my TV, there are times when I was playing it on my television set. And Ryan, I have a pretty good TV. I would just sit down and I'd just be like playing. I get to the top of a peak or a hill and I would see the view and I would just be like, this is so freaking pretty.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
You mentioned Genshin.
I don't get that in handheld mode. In handheld mode, I'm like, cool, trying. I'm on playing. I'm like, look, everyone, I'm playing a Switch.
Yeah, and you don't appreciate it as much,
No, you don't. Even when I'm playing Mario 64, because I played Mario 64 a little bit in handheld mode. And it's fun. It's like I can play this on the go. This is great.
Yeah.
But it just hits more. It hits different when it's on a television set.
For sure.
It does, yeah. And again, like handheld games, they're just made differently than games for your television. Like, because they're to be on the go. Like, they're made different for that reason. So you don't need to play them 8 hours at a time. They're like more bite-sized level stuff. Like, that's generally how a lot of those games are. So when you bring a regular game to just handheld, you're like, okay, so I'm just playing a 40-hour RPG, but now it's in my hands. Yeah. I'm like, well, it's the same thing. Like, there's no differentiation. Which is why, again, like,
I'm gonna go get my cat real quick because she's
go get it. Yeah. Cats are silly. Yeah, like games like Call of Duty and like Batman Arkham Asylum that show up on the Switch, and I'm like, I will never play those games in handheld mode. I don't want to play Arkham City like this.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I could definitely. It's so funny because I just act like the Switch is basically like a PlayStation at this point, because I barely undock it unless I am my favorite planes when when traveling was a thing, and now that traveling's coming back. My favorite thing to take with me is the Switch. And I guess I don't even think about the battery life though, because I always like immediately find an outlet, make sure my thing is as plugged in as I can possibly be. And then only for like the plane ride am I really like not connected to anything.
There's one game that works really well, I think, both handheld and on the TV, and it's Animal Crossing, because that's a very chill game. Yeah, and it's no matter what, like it's not super detailed, so you can enjoy it on both screens, and it's very chill. It's not like reaction times like for shooting or anything. Yeah.
Oh man, I have totally stopped playing Animal Crossing.
Oh, me too.
My poor dead.
I haven't touched it. I don't think
poor island.
I don't think Fanny's played in a while, because ever since we got new Pokemon Snap, Fanny's been playing that 90% of the time. I don't think she's even touched Animal Crossing at all.
Oh my God, those villagers are just like, where's Ben?
I know, simpler times.
Oh man, that is wow. Animal Crossing was so big last year during the pandemic, and everyone was like, this is some sense of normalcy. It was my game of the year last year.
100%. Yeah.
And now it's like Pokemon Snap comes up and it's like everyone goes Pokemon Snap.
I think there's a sense of guilt though, like because they kind of make you feel bad when you come back to the island, because they're like, oh, you're back? Oh, it's you?
Yeah.
I feel like if they didn't shame you, you'd be more likely to just like pop in.
They also like tell you, oh, it's been like 609 days since you've been here. I'm like, wow, thanks, Janet.
And your island looks terrible. It's fully overgrown. It's
weeds
I'm walking through town, and I see one of my villagers, and Audie. She's like, "Hi, I'm Audie." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but I haven't seen you so long, so I had to reintroduce myself."
Yeah, you're like,
oh God, so sad.
Or even freaking the snack ones who are like eating snacks with you, and they're like, it's like, where'd my snack buddy go? It's like, oh, why do I feel like a dick?
Yeah, you're like, I can never come back here. Goodbye.
You're guilt tripping me. Yeah, I can't do it.
They do guilt trip you in that game.
I'm gonna do another one just because I have my phone out. Hey guys, there's a new season of a television show that's out, and it's called Castlevania. But that's a TV show. The thing about Castlevania is it's owned by Konami, and Konami sucks, and they don't make console video games anymore.
Oh wow!
Don't they just they make arcade games? Well, they have a bunch of money with Yu-Gi-Oh because they print the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
They make like pachinko machines and like Japanese arcade machines. But like they used to make like Metal Gear Solid, my favorite franchise, and Castlevania, one of my favorite franchises, and they just don't anymore. But earlier this year, Konami said that they are starting to make games again. Castlevania is one of those games they said they might be working on. I'm going to predict we will see some sort of new Castlevania game announced this E3. Now that's wild because there hasn't been a Castlevania game in many years, but boy howdy, I am jonesed in to fight some Draculas, my guys. I want it. I need it. Give me some whips. I'm so ready. Bring it back.
Given the critical reception, the positive critical reception of the Castlevania anime, I feel like this is the perfect time to come out with a new Castlevania game. It doesn't have to involve Trevor Belmont or Sypha or Alucard or anyone. Just give us a new Castlevania game, because the old developers, they made Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and as far as I remember, that was well received.
It was. It's good.
It's kind of like the original developers of Banjo-Kazooie go and make Yooka-Laylee because they can't make Banjo-Kazooie because Rare is now owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft says no.
You get it. You get it. See, you get it. And then Banjo shows up in Smash, so it's like, what's even happening anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, I know she's not going to watch this, but I'm going to show you guys this.
So I don't. No, go ahead. What is it?
This is my sister's birthday present.
Oh, cute.
She loves Banjo-Kazooie. She doesn't have a Switch, and she doesn't play Smash Bros. So this is really just for her to have like a little Banjo-Kazooie thing. And so it's a really cool figure. I really dig this. But it's so weird because someone posted a picture of this amiibo, the underneath part where it's like the copyright Microsoft, because it's like this was originally an N64 game. This came out on the N64, and now it's owned by Microsoft, and they only decided to be nice for Smash Bros. Why?
Licensing is weird, because Rare got bought by Microsoft, and then they made a bunch of kind of bad games, and then they're like, "Hey, look, can we make good games again?" Castlevania, if it's not a brand new game, and it's just like, "Hey, we're gonna remaster Symphony of the Night," which is the greatest Castlevania game of all time. I would be happy with that. I just want another
remake of a Castlevania
so
Symphony.
Cute.
You want that, right, Suki? Okay, you getting fidgety.
I just want more Castlevania. There was in like the early 2010s, there was the Hideo Kojima, the guy who made Metal Gear Castlevania games, which are like God of War. Those games are super wild and cool, like third-person action adventure, like linear games. And that franchise is dead. So like they can do whatever they want with the franchise. I just think now that Castlevania is so popular again, now's the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Bring it back.
Well, luckily they did release Symphony of the Night, and it was bundled with one of the, because they had two different collections. They had one collection with all the older NES.
The Dracula X collection.
Is that the one with Symphony of the Night?
No, it's the other one with like Dracula's kid and all that shit.
Yeah, because that's
actually the one you play the baby Dracula. That's a real game.
Okay. No, but the one Castlevania game that everyone's been telling me that I need to play before it dies is Symphony of the Night.
Ben, it's just a Metroidvania. It's the reason Metroidvanias are called Metroidvanias. It's the best.
Yeah, I know.
It's so good.
Well,
also, you've watched Castlevania, so you'll understand all the references.
I have watched Castlevania. No excuse. That's going to be the next thing I get. But should I get it for the PS4 or the Switch? Probably PS4.
Get it on PS4 maybe, and then we do a basement arcade of it.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
Look at that. Look at that content.
Next basement arcade game I play is Castlevania Symphony Night. I like it. All right. So since we're going to Nintendo, we talked about Nintendo earlier, so this is not the big one. This is the one that it's a prediction that I have. It's a prediction that I feel is completely feasible. I feel like they could totally do it. And it just feels right for them to announce it, and probably, because we know it's Nintendo and they've done this before, release it the same day, and that is Game Boy Player for the Nintendo Switch online service.
Oh, okay.
And when I say Game Boy Player...
Yeah, I was like, what does this mean?
I'm not just talking about the original Game Boy games. I'm talking Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance.
Oh, that's too spicy.
Oh, that is spicy, but you know what? I want it, and they can do it. It's the perfect name, the perfect title. Okay, so the reason why Game Boy Player, Inga, because back on the Nintendo GameCube, there was a device for the GameCube called the Game Boy Player, where you can play all of your Game Boy games. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can play them on that Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. All of them was available right then and there.
Yeah.
I see no reason why Nintendo cannot do this. I mean, to me, it's just silly. Just like they don't have to put the entire. Obviously, they're not going to put the entire libraries on there because there's licensing issues and other stuff. But put like 5 Game Boy games, 3 Game Boy Color games, and a few classic Game Boy Advance games on there, and then just do what you're doing with the system now. Continuously add games as time goes on. So many people would probably jump on this if you announce, those super rare Game Boy Advance games that are super hard to find, like Metroid Fusion and Fire Emblem? They're available day one on this service. You can play those classic games on your Switch, no problem.
That'd be dope.
Man, like when you look at the 3 big companies like Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo is absolutely the worst at doing this kind of thing. Because you have Xbox Game Pass, which has every game you'd ever want on the planet, plus every first-party Xbox game on launch. Like you can play all the Halo games on launch, like on Xbox Game Pass for free if you have it. Like then you have PlayStation, and they have great PS Plus stuff. They have a great PS Now thing, and then you got Nintendo, and Nintendo's like, we have enough money. We don't care what you want. Because like they should be doing this stuff every day of the week with how much backlog of games that they have and games that are hard to get, Ben. And I'm just like, the fact that they don't do this more often is just they just don't care. They just don't care because they have so much money. They don't need to do it. And what that makes me mad because like Sony and Microsoft are like, hey, we want to give you every game possible because we know you'll pay for it. Nintendo's like, we're already $5 billion in cash money. We don't need any more money. And that really bums me out because they just don't seem to care half the time.
Yeah. I mean,
that's something that is too good to be true. If they do something with Game Boy, they're going to give us like 5 Game Boy games and that's it. Like, I don't like that's something Microsoft would do, but they don't make Game Boy.
Nope. I mean, just some form, because everyone's been talking about how they want N64 games on Switch since that the Switch can easily run Super Mario 64. Everyone wants that service, but I feel that I feel like doing the Game Boy would be better first.
Yeah.
Because the N64 controller is still, I mean, you could probably, as long as you have both Joy-Cons, you could probably use the C buttons for the D-pad. But a lot, because even with the game, not the Game Boy, the NES and the SNES online versions, the button layout is all there on the Switch controllers.
Because there's not many buttons.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can even get new Bluetooth controllers for it if you want that authentic feel, which I totally do, but I haven't bought my controllers yet. But with N64 games, I feel like they really have to put a little bit more work in. Whereas with Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color games, the button layout is already on a controller.
Yeah,
it's 2 buttons too. It's
just 2 buttons, and the GBA it's 4 buttons because you have the shoulder buttons. That's it. You're good. You're Gucci. You don't have to worry about anything else. And also,
again, it's a situation where like it seems so easy. It's like it's a 2-button game. Like, why don't you just put it on the service? It's because I don't care.
Yeah, but I feel like they're going to add something more to Nintendo Switch Online, and I feel like it's going to be Game Boy.
Also, just tweet them every day.
Yeah, I do agree with you.
2 things to tweet every day.
I do agree with you that the Nintendo service, like, they're going to beef it up somehow. I just don't have any faith in Nintendo that'll be anything extravagant because they kind of like never like look at, again. I always go back to Mario's anniversary and like they killed Mario. Like it's so funny.
It's like, hey, you want Mario stuff? No more Mario stuff.
Oh, you want Mario stuff? You have until March to get it, and then it's never coming out again. Like, okay, there's now some Disney Vault. Cool.
Even that opens up from time to time, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they decide to say, screw the Vault, Disney Plus everything.
Oh, true.
Oh my God, yeah. Then, listen, if there was like a Nintendo service that's like, it's $30 a month, every Nintendo game that ever came out from 2000 and beyond. It's easy because those are all old games that have like 2 or 4 buttons. Easy.
I would say not just 2000. I would say from like 1985 onward, like even the Famicom games.
I'm sorry. I meant like 2000 and lower. So like everything from 2000 in the 90s and 80s because those are all the easier games to do.
Yeah.
But that's too easy. They wouldn't do that because that's too much money they would make. Why would they do that?
Yeah, I remember watching this meme somewhere where it's like Xbox, it's like, you want to play video games, older video games, go for it. Sony, it's like, you may have to jump through a few hoops, but you're still able to play your older games.
Yeah.
Nintendo, no, only member. Only member the good games.
Yeah, remember?
It's like, only remember, no play.
Remember Chrono Trigger?
Which I actually got. I actually got a copy of Chrono Trigger.
There you go. You got any more... What any more predictions, ideas, thoughts?
I got a couple more predictions, but I want to go around the horn first.
Oh, okay. Me personally, I don't think I wrote down Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. Trying to think of why I wrote that down. I think I wrote I think they're just doing a third installment.
Yeah, so that MMO just got a PS5 upgrade, and Endwalker is like the newest like expansion or something. Because that game's been going on for like Jesus, like
I thought it was going to die, so I guess my prediction was that it's not. It shall continue on.
Oh yeah, that thing makes too much money for it to, I think, to end now. That's like legitimately like a really critically well received MMO, and like the fans love it. Like love it.
Is it 12 that I'm thinking of that people? What was their other online? I mean, is it 14 that 11. They had to fully which one did they fully revamp?
It was 14.
Okay.
So 11 existed and then it died because 14 came out, and 14, which I played at launch, was awful. And then they were like, "We're sorry," and then they redid it.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. That's why I thought it was still gonna die. I was like,
it already died, but like a phoenix feather. That's what's called, a phoenix feather, right?
Phoenix down.
Phoenix down.
down.
There you go.
Yeah,
I've played these games once.
The original Final Fantasy XIV, as Ryan said, was completely abysmal. Everyone hated it, and the developers at Square Enix who worked on the game publicly apologized.
Okay, all right.
They revamped the world, but the cool thing is they brought the lore from the old game into, or the destruction of the old world, into the lore of the new game.
Yeah,
completely revamped it, and now I feel Final Fantasy XIV is one of the MMOs that is like it's fighting well with WoW. I would say
next to WoW, it is the biggest one for sure.
Okay, well,
oh, yeah.
That's interesting. Is this the time? I guess my prediction is: do I get into Final Fantasy 14 now? No. Do I start now?
So you get to play for free up to level 20 because it's been going so long and there's so many expansions.
Yeah.
Like I downloaded it for the PS5. I haven't done it yet, but like I might try it out again because it's been so many years.
Interesting. Okay.
You can play for free for a little bit.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but that was a thing.
I want to get into MMOs, but part of me is like really scared that I'm going to get just like super sucked into Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
It's possible.
And you would think that Final Fantasy, well, I mean, after World of Warcraft came out, World of Warcraft came out in 2004, but Final Fantasy 11 came out, I want to say 2001, 2002, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that was one of their, I wanted to try Final Fantasy 11.
I played it, and I remember I didn't last long in it just because I hated that there was no storyline per se. Like it was just like figure things out and do things. And I was like, not for me. Not for me.
I begged my dad because if you bought Final Fantasy 11, it came with the expansion that he needed, so you can Blink, that you need to like plug into the back of your PS2 so you can go online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Monster Hunter, the original Monster Hunter had that too.
Yeah, but I know that in the very early days, online was still pretty shoddy.
Yeah,
and my parents were like, "No, you only go online for school and to talk to your friends every once in a while. Other than that, no play games."
Yeah. The very first Monster Hunter that came out in like 2003, 2004. I had that PlayStation 2 a port adapter thing, and you could play the original Monster Hunter online with like one other dude who, and like with no voice chat. But like Ben, we played Monster Hunter like a year and a half ago, and I was like, but I was doing that when I was like 11, and I'm like, crazy. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
It's crazy.
I'm just glad that now you don't, because I think the best way for that to work is that you had to plug it into our modem, and my PS2 was in my room, and of course the modem, our internet modem, was all the way to the other side of the house.
Yeah.
Ben, you've been to my house. I have a 50-foot cord going from my upstairs room all the way down into my living room that's just taped to the ground because there's no other way for me to get good internet up here. So I feel you, and thanks to my roommates for dealing with it.
Yep. Well, once I get my PS5 is going to be downstairs. It's gonna be. I'm hardlining that thing to our next, because our TV and our internet modem are right next to each other. I am hardlining that sucker in there. I'm like, good, because there have been times the internet up here and my game loft on my PS4, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not the best, but it's not bad. But there have been times where I've been playing Fortnite or I'm playing other online games where the little signal of the Wi-Fi signal is like, hey, Wi-Fi signal is bad, and of course. My roommate has his TV. Fanny's on her phone or doing something up here, so it's like, oh no! And everybody's have a Wi-Fi extender, but the Wi-Fi extender still doesn't do much.
Oh yeah, I got one of those, and it barely helps. I got my last prediction, and it's gonna be just a little Xbox franchise that I'm a big fan of, and it's called Gears of War. And Gears of War 5 came out over 3 years ago at this point, and there's been another Gears of War game called Tactics, which is a Final Fantasy Tactics Gears of War game that came out a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So the company that makes that, I believe they're the Coalition. That's the name. They were made specifically to make Gears of War games, just like 343 Industries was made to make Halo games. So they've been silent for a couple of years. So I guarantee we're getting the finale to their trilogy, which started with 4. We will see Gears of War 6 announced this year.
Ooh, I loved Gears of War. It was a lot of fun.
All right.
Dom, I need to reload. Yeah.
Man, Gears of War. I remember when my brother we got our Xbox 360.
Right back.
My brother got Gears of War 2, and we loved that game.
Mm-hmm.
Gears of
Is that
War
the one where you chainsaw through a worm?
Yep.
Oh God, that game's so cool.
That game was so much. I think we co-opted it, actually. Yeah, my brother and I co-opted Gears of War 2.
I called it with my dad. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Those games are great.
No, you know what? Gears of War 2 was just so good. And then when Gears of War 3 came out, I was like, oh, sweet, Gears. And I never played another Gears game ever again.
So all the core games, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I haven't played 5, but I the reviews are good. They're all good. I played 4 with Sparks, a member of the FakeNerd podcast. Mm-hmm. There's a side game called Gears of War Judgment, which is a prequel game made by a different studio. That one's whatever. It's funny because God of War Ascension, which is a spin-off God of War game not made by the same God of War guys, came out the exact same time. So there were 2 GOW games coming out around the same time, God of War, Gears of War, that were both bad. It was a funny couple months. We're like, wow, the 2 best franchises for each respective console is shit right now. Thank God we got PS5s and PS4s.
Yeah, and also thank God God of War 2018 was the masterpiece that it was.
Oh God, God of War Ascension had multiplayer in it, Ben.
It did?
Yeah, where you choose a pantheon. You can choose Ares, Poseidon, Zeus, or whatever, and like you get respective powers for them, and it's just like a multiplayer God of War arena. Wasn't good.
Yeah. I actually never played anything. I only played the mainline God of War games. I never played the side games, like the PSP.
They're good.
I heard the PSP ones were good. It's just it got to a point where it was like, wow, so much God of War is coming out, and then my PSP was like regulated to my brother using it for the internet when he was off from the computer to go on MySpace.
Isn't a PSP like a nut? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Funny enough, the episode that I want to get Inga and Thor on next, as well as Patrick Brickhouse from Retro Blast Podcast, is when we all talk about handhelds.
Yeah.
And you know the PSP was going to come up. Because it's not just the Game Boy. It's the Game Boy, the DS, the PSP, the Vita. Now the Switch can be logged in there. So the pause menu is where we're going to sit down and talk about our favorite video game handheld or our favorite handheld. Hell, even we could talk about these monstrosities.
The little tigers?
The tiger games,
Oh my gosh.
Face a tiger.
Yeah, this was my joke gift for Christmas this last year. I got Transformers, Sonic, and X-Men.
That's cute, though.
Yeah, these were the re-releases. There's no batteries in here because I didn't put batteries in.
Technology. You got one more prediction?
Yes, of course I have another prediction, and this is my big one.
Okay.
This is the one that if Nintendo does not say anything, they swipe it under the rug again. I am legit going to be pissed off. You know what it is. You might know what it is.
All right.
If they don't do anything for Metroid Prime 4, I am going to lose my ever-loving shit.
Yeah, that's another game that had to get restarted, like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So if they don't give us an actual trailer, I'm okay with no release date. I want Metroid Prime 4 to be good. That's all I'm asking for. But here's the thing. This year, Zelda and Metroid share a 35th anniversary. Mm-hmm. 5 years ago, Zelda was pretty much giving up all the glory for their 30th anniversary, and Metroid swipe. What Nintendo Nintendo office is like? What's Metroid? I don't know. Now there was a bit of a resurgence sometime later with Metroid: Samus Returns on the 3DS. An amazing game. I'm playing it on my 3DS right now. Fantastic. Chef's kiss. But that is a remake of Samus of the Game Boy game.
Ben, when was Metroid Prime 4 announced?
It was announced over 800 some days ago. I want to say it was announced in 2015?
No, 17. Still 4 years. Still a long ass time.
Yeah, 4 years. 2017.
It's been now 4 years because E3 happens like around now. So
yeah. So Metroid Prime 4 trailer with some gameplay. They don't have to give us release date, but because this is also Samus Aran's 35th anniversary, Metroid Prime Trilogy remake for the Switch.
Ooh, I will give you remaster. Remaking those 3 games, I think is too much.
I'm on the remaster. When I meant remake, I meant remaster. My apologies.
No, it's okay.
Just kidding. I'll take it back.
Yeah. I don't care if people give this game flack like they did for Mario 3D All-Stars. Metroid has been under the rug for so goddamn long that I feel that this is the perfect time. I mean, they might have to do, if I have to play Metroid Prime 3 Corruption with the Joy-Cons detached to get the motion controls, I'll freaking do it. I don't care. I just want some more Metroid. And I feel that, and this is part of Nintendo's MO. They normally give out, or they're like, "Hey, we're gonna release this thing so you can enjoy this thing before the new thing comes out." They do that.
Yeah.
Like they did before when they ported all the Metroid Prime games to the Wii when Metroid Prime 3 came out.
Mhm.
So
that's why I think the remaster is much more likely because they've already done it.
Yeah,
did it on the Wii U. So like I think if they just make that one even better and put it to Switch, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yep. I mean, normally I would also say like, hey, give us a Metroid Prime or not Metroid Prime, a Metroid collection on the Switch.
Mhm.
I mean, we already have the original Metroid game and Super Metroid available, the two best ones in my opinion. Well, actually, no, Metroid Samus Returns is also really good, but that was on a different piece of hardware. But you have Super Metroid, arguably one of the absolute best Metroid games, is available to play on your Switch for the online service for free. You're good. You got that. I have it on my Super Nintendo Mini. I have ways to play Metroid 3. Metroid Prime Trilogy needs to come to Switch. I want to enjoy those games. I want to play those games. I never did, and I keep kicking myself.
Oh, you never did?
I never played them.
Oh, Ben, I didn't know this.
Oh, Ryan, dude, I never. So I got freaking when I got my Wii and I heard about Metroid Prime 3 coming out, I was like, whoa! But I had to choose between that and something else, and I don't know what. I can't remember what the other game was that I chose.
It wasn't Samus.
It wasn't Samus.
You let her down
because I never owned a GameCube, and then when I found out that Metroid Prime was on this Wii, I think I moved away from my Wii and kept playing my PS2.
That's yeah.
So I'm kicking myself, but
I love the Metroid Prime series because, and I'm going to compare it to a franchise that is so much more recent, but Metroid Prime is to the rest of the franchise what Resident Evil 7 is to the franchise. Because it turned that entire franchise into a first-person perspective without changing the gameplay. It has turned it into a 3D environment. You're still rolling around. You're still collecting things. It's still a Metroidvania where you can't go to places until you unlock things. It's like Metroid Prime is such a galaxy brain game. It's so good. The fact that they haven't re-released it already is kind of mind-blowing. Then it is so good.
Are either of you two familiar with the web show What Happened on YouTube?
Hey Ash, What Happened?
No, Not Hey Ash, What Happened. It's just What Happened. It's by Macman Muscles. He's
What happened? Yeah.
It was like what happened?
Yeah.
No, so because I watched the Metroid Prime video of What Happened, because he talks about bad games and is like, hey, what happened? Why did this game turn out to be so bad?
Yeah.
But he also does like what happened with Metroid, because funny enough, Metroid Prime never started out on it. It was a complete mess before it became the masterpiece that is today. And it was started by one of the most, or the studio, Retro Studios, was started by one of the most sleaziest guys ever. The guy who created the Guy game. Does anyone know about the Guy game?
No.
Yes, I do, and I'm bummed that I do.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
So TLDR, Inga, the Guy game is a FMV full motion video PS2 game where you have to answer trivia questions, and the more questions you get right, the more naked ladies you get to see.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was filmed.
It's like Girls Gone Wild made a video game.
The video game? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But here's the kicker. So it was filmed on South Padre Island during spring break in the early noughts. But when the game came out, one of the girls came up and sued the developers because when they recorded her, she didn't understand exactly what was going on. She was also drunk at the time.
Sure.
She was 17.
Oh, God.
Well, that game got taken off a shelf.
That game got taken off so quick.
Boy, howdy.
And then it got recut and then redistributed as a DVD.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And
that
then
makes more sense.
Like the Guy game movie or some. It's bad. Like the guy who created that started Retro Studios, and then he eventually got fired by Nintendo because he started a softcore porn site on the servers in Retro Studios on Nintendo's dime.
Whoa!
Yeah, because he was running late because Nintendo, like Shigeru Miyamoto, flew from Kyoto to Texas, where the studio is located, because they were mad that they weren't getting any progress on these new. Because they got dev kits for the GameCube, and they're like, "Where's our game? What are you working on?" And there was just like there was no coordination. There was like 5 projects going on at once with one dev kit. Everyone was scrambling. The guy in charge wasn't doing anything. They found out he was running a softcore porn site from his own computer in his own office. So they put him off the project. They gave him some sort of severance package, kicked him off the project, and then things just went from there. And then that is how we got one of the reasons how we got Metroid Prime.
Wow.
It is insane how
maybe we don't need Metroid Prime 4 after all.
Well, luckily, Ryan, since then, this guy, I don't think his name, because it's the same, it's Scott something. It's the same guy.
Don't give him credit. We don't need to give him credit.
No, because it's the same guy who also helped found Iguana Studios that made the Turok games for the N64.
Oh, those games are all right.
Yeah, those games are all right. And but luckily his name is not mentioned anywhere, as far as I know, in the Metroid Prime credits, which is good.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only like one really bad Metroid game that I've played, and it's called Metroid Other M, and it's about the Metroid baby.
Everyone talks about. I actually was this close to buying Metroid Other M, and I was really looking forward to it because
I don't want to live in a world. I don't want to live in a world where you haven't played Metroid Prime, but you have played Other M. That's a bad world to live in.
I'm saying I was this close to buying it, and I never did.
No, I know. I'm glad you didn't, because that's not a world I want to live in.
Are you okay with living in a world where I play Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Samus Returns, and I'm eventually going to start Super Metroid?
Of course. Just don't play the bad one.
Cool. I don't want to play the bad one. And also, when I found out about Federation Force, I'm like, oh, hell no.
Oh, that's the 3DS one, right?
That's the 3DS one that came out before Return of Samus.
It's all about the balls. You're balling around. Right? Balls, lots of balls.
I think I'd rather play Metroid Prime Pinball first. I heard that. At least that game was good.
That's a cool idea, because then Samus is the pinball. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's the ball.
That's all right.
So yeah.
Inga, you got one more? Because I got one more on my
I'm technically spent on my end of predictions.
Anything
mine's more just like wishes.
Anything you wish for? Any games? You're like, hey, I'd like to see this again.
I don't know. No, not at the top of my head at the moment. If I think, I'll interject.
Cool.
All right. Well, I got my Smash Bro prediction. Now
go for it. Oh wait, let me get my final regular one out of the way. Then we can go to Smash Brothers. So another Xbox franchise that I dearly love that has been absent for many years, it's Fable. And we know Fable is coming back because 2 years ago they had a teaser trailer saying, "Hey, there's a new Fable coming out. Who knows when?" And it's been 2 years, and that is a hot property that so many rumors. That's what I love about rumors, because when they get really hot, and it's like they won't stop, you know it's happening soon. So Fable's most likely happening unless something crazy happens. We're going to see a trailer with gameplay. Fable is such an awesome franchise. Have either of you played Fable at all?
A little bit.
Okay, a little bit.
I never owned an Xbox, but I played about like an hour and a half of it at my friend's house. But that's all I did.
Yeah. It's like an open world RPG where you can be good or evil, and it's really like cheeky British humor with like farts and like very
chicken
like chicken kicker. Yeah. Oh yeah. You'd see. You're cool. You can get like nicknames that you can name, and one of them is Chicken Kicker or like Arse Face. Oh, it's the Arse Face. I want that back. There aren't any games with that type of humor. Like there are very few that are like super cheeky like that. So I'm very excited for that franchise to come back. Maybe multiplayer, because there was some multiplayer stuff in the last game. So Fable's the one I want. That's me.
Is it just going to be Xbox, or is this cross-platform? Because everything's going. Okay, gotcha.
It's only Xbox. Yeah. Microsoft needs some exclusives.
Oh yeah. Microsoft.
Xbox. Yeah, Fable was. I was actually bummed when I was a kid because I really wanted an Xbox for Halo and for Fable.
Same.
Fable.
Well, me just for Fable, but yeah, same.
Yeah. Do I have
time to Smash?
Yeah.
Come on and Smash, and welcome to the Mash.
Okay, so I only wrote down one Smash prediction, but I have a few characters that I would like to see in Smash. But the one I wrote down is the one that I seriously think is going to end up, and mine's still a bit of a dark horse pick. But I think that looking at what games that this character has been in recently, I honestly feel that she has a really good shot in being a new Smash character. But I want to go to you guys first about who your predictions are. So,
okay,
Inga, who do you predict
Okay.
is the newest character to get the coveted Smash invitation.
So there's no way this would happen, but I think it would be hilarious if it did. Tom Nook. Wouldn't people want to beat Tom Nook's ass in Super Smash for all those loans? I mean, you can't take something that wholesome. I mean, it would never happen, but I think it'd be hilarious if
you can use Timmy and Tommy as weapons.
And they just pop up. He just has a
You're kind of like how Princess Peach uses Toad to shield for one of her moves.
Yeah. I just think it'd be hilarious.
He throws like bank statements at you, like debt.
He basically buries you in debt.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That'd be fantastic.
Not a possibility, but I think it would be hilarious. I kind of have two that I think would be interesting. And it was weird that I thought this because I was like, I'm so surprised that there isn't a Devil May Cry character part of Smash. And so obviously the most recognizable would be Dante.
That's a good choice.
Maybe Dante. And then I did come across something where I was like, they wouldn't do it, but maybe they would. Maybe Chun-Li. I don't know. That'd be fun. If we're bringing people in from other games, why not?
Yeah. They got Ryu and Ken. So like Chun-Li, absolutely.
That's what we need.
Feel actually, if my honest opinion, I was more surprised that Ken was put in Smash before Chun-Li because
so was I.
A clone of Ryu, if you think about it.
100%.
That one is a little. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I would definitely see. I would feel that Chun-Li probably deserved to be in Smash more because even the Fortnite thing that they did, it was Ryu and Chun-Li. Arguably the two most famous characters in all of Street Fighter. I mean, yeah, I would say Ken is third and Guile is fourth, but yeah.
But for gameplay stuff, like, why would you just have like they have Echo characters? Obviously, like, there's a lot of Echo characters. But why would you have one of your DLC characters just be an Echo character of somebody you just bought?
That's
like that's just lazy. Unless you're just like, oh, do you want to be this white guy or this other like the other guy looking white guy? But it's not. I'm like,
okay, so technically, when for Smash Ultimate, when they said everyone is here, Ken was always part of the roster. He wasn't DLC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ken wasn't DLC because they announced Ken the same time they announced Incineroar.
Oh, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. So in all fairness, Ken was never DLC. Ryu was back in Smash for 3DS and Wii U, but in Smash Ultimate, Ken was always meant to be in the game.
Okay, gotcha.
But for a DLC character, you're right. I think Chun-Li should be in there. That would be
agree.
Nice.
I agree.
Bring her in there. Kick. I love her.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Who you got?
So I have the sorry guys, I have the actual answer that's gonna get revealed at E3 this year. I got the inside scoops. It's Crash Bandicoot. He's had a crazy year. If you look at all the other franchises that have appeared in Smash Brothers, this totally makes sense. He is a PlayStation boy. We got a Microsoft boy. We've got some fighting game boys. We got a Cloud Strife. Crash Bandicoot seems perfect. I think it's going to be Crash. I also think that his second skin will be that lady who is in that game that I don't know her name. Whatever her name is. Coco. The second skin will be Coco. You can change.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Crash and Coco, but it's gonna be one. They're gonna be like essentially one character, right?
Yeah, because we don't need to Echo clone her. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That'll be nice.
I think his moveset's perfect. He can do a spinny thing. He can jump in the air. He has Aku the mask as like a special. Like, I think it could work
as a Final Smash. Yeah.
I would say if anything, that'd probably be the most true.
I would definitely say Crash Bandicoot is a very safe bet because people have been asking, and also I feel that a lot of times the characters that are going to be in Smash, they've either been characters that have been on Nintendo platforms before or on Nintendo platforms currently. Crash Bandicoot, as we all know, is now cross-platform. He is not a PlayStation exclusive. He is on Xbox and Nintendo.
Persona 5 Royals Joker is in this game, and he is a PlayStation exclusive.
You are correct. You are
absolutely
correct. Never mind. Forget my statement earlier. There is a Persona 5 game for the Switch, and I think it's like
the dancing one.
Oh, is it a dance? I thought it was a fight one too. No.
Oh, is there?
No, I don't know. Maybe I could have just made that up. That could be a lie.
So
There's definitely there's Strikers and Dancing All Night. Those are two. They both exist. I don't know if they've been on Switch. That'd be cool if they were. They should just put Persona 5 on the Switch then.
That's
who knows? They might.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So I honestly have a bunch of characters that I want in Smash. Sora being the top one.
I was gonna say, I know in your heart it's Sora.
Yeah, in my heart is Sora, but no, because we've already got Sephiroth. The newer ones from Xenoblade. They're all sword characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we don't need another sword as much as I would love, because I have a piece of fan art that I got from Anime Impulse, the last con I went to with you, Inga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it's with Sora holding the Smash invitation with a bunch of those Smash. It's like
That's cute. I love that.
It's a riff off the cover of Chain of Memories. But so as much as I would love Sora to be in Smash, I don't think he is going to be in Smash. If he is, he's probably like the last character they pick, but I highly doubt it. The character that I think they're going to announce is the Genie Shantae.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's a good one.
So she could also be another brawler. Now, I just started playing the original Shantae on my Switch. I'm not super far in the games, but I feel that from what I played so far, from how she has a bit of a cult following, and also how almost all of her games, actually, all of her games now are playable on the Switch. So I feel like it's a no-brainer to add this cult classic of a character into Smash Bros. Because that's what Smash Bros. Has done. They have brought cult classic characters, and those characters have just like exploded. I don't think we would have gotten Fire Emblem here in the West if it wasn't for Marth and Roy in Melee. Oh,
absolutely. Those help a lot.
Yeah. Even Shulk, the Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenosaga and the Xeno games, they were a thing here in America, but they weren't as big.
Yeah.
Here comes Shulk, and then here comes Xenoblade Chronicles.
100%.
So I think that we are going to see, I would like to see Shantae, but I think Crash Bandicoot is going to take one of the spots, because I believe there are 2 slots left. And one of them I feel like is reserved, even though Shantae is not a Nintendo character, she's a WayForward character, but WayForward and Nintendo do have a really good relationship. So I feel that's going to put into play here.
Absolutely, I agree. Shantae's a good outside pick. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's Crash and Shantae. I feel like Crash is a safe bet. Shantae is the dark horse, but still in the running. Whereas Sora is the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
I feel like Sora is gonna be in this game eventually. It feels like it's a thing that like it's Square saying no, because I feel like Nintendo obviously would want this, because like it's a fan favorite character. Like you have Solid Snake in this game. Like he was on Nintendo 30 years ago, but he is a PlayStation icon. So it's not like they can't get anybody, right? I just feel like maybe they're saving him for last, and it's gonna be like a big thing. And I hope that's true.
It could be Square, but also it could be HAL Labs trying to get maybe permission from Disney. Because obviously a big part of the game
Disney,
is that you fight with Donald and Goofy. So then you have who's not to say, how come Mickey Mouse isn't a playable character?
That's where you get like you will never see Donald or Goofy. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
Or they're probably going to be able to use Kairi and Riku for the Trinity attack.
They will use the human and Final Fantasy S characters. They will not use Disney characters, unfortunately.
Yeah, because that is a whole. They might have to like cut the keychain off of Sora's Keyblade, because he has the Mickey Mouse insignia swinging.
They'll give him like the Ultima Blade or something else. Yeah.
Or no, you know what? They'll probably have him fight with the Oblivion and the Oathkeeper.
There you go.
Or they'll just give him.
And then his final smash is like his like when he's like use your special ability and you're just like flying around and shit.
Yeah, or they'll just give him the Kingdom Key, but they'll just like chop off the keychain.
Yeah,
sure.
Remove any mention of Disney, because Sora's not a Disney character. He is a Square character. Disney, as far as I know, Disney does not own Sora.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's like a co-ownership thing, because obviously I don't know like the business stuff, but like I think like when Kingdom Hearts is like a Disney, is like it's part of the Disney franchise, but it's like not exclusively Disney.
But also didn't they weed out like the second or third one? They started weeding, like getting away from the Final Fantasy characters.
The third one, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they were like tired, like they didn't want to have to deal with like the legality of, we got to get these Final Fantasy characters. It's too much work.
The reason why is because Tetsuya Nomura wanted the story to be focused more on story, and he thought that the Final Fantasy characters were a bit of a distraction. In Kingdom Hearts Remind, he does, in the DLC, he does bring back Leon, Yuffie, and Aerith instead. But you don't fight Sephiroth, and you don't fight, and Cloud's nowhere to be found.
It's so wild. That's why I played the game.
100%.
That's why I played to begin with. Yeah. Yes.
You got Mickey Mouse and you got Auron next to each other. Like, what?
That was wild, and I absolutely love it. But Cloud is so Cloud is mentioned in the base game. Some of the Final Fantasy characters come back, and but most of the time it's all about Sora. It's all about Riku, and then it's them going throughout the Disney worlds. So the reason why there's no Sephiroth fight and a lot of Final Fantasy characters are absent is because Nomura it was a director decision. It wasn't him. It wasn't any illegal thing. It was like, this is a story about this, and the Final Fantasy stuff kind of distracts from that.
They want one of the maybe less in the scope to focus. Yeah.
Even though, to be honest, like looking like the first one's my favorite of the Kingdom Hearts games. I absolutely adore that game. It's just like you would think these two franchises would not mix, having Donald and Goofy fight Leon and Yuffie, but it does. It is so. It's just work. And also recently Disney, because I remember when Kingdom Hearts first came out, there was like nothing Kingdom Hearts at Disneyland in the stores. I was mad because I wanted a Keyblade to save my life. It wasn't until recently when I noticed that Disney actually started putting pins up with Kingdom Hearts, they have Sora, Donald, and Goofy in their costumes for Kingdom Hearts. And Ryan, I think you're going to mention about.
Yeah, I went to Disneyland one. I don't remember when. It might have been during October, maybe.
It was.
But there was Sora and Donald in their Kingdom Hearts outfits as characters walking around, or they were like doing photo booths and stuff.
Was it Goofy and Donald? It was Goofy and Donald, right? Did they actually have a Sora face character?
I think it was Sora. I'm pretty sure it was Sora. I don't remember. It was definitely Donald with no pants.
I remember you sent me a picture because you were trying to get you saw the line was too long, but you sent me a picture of Donald in
it might have been Goofy. But it was Kingdom Hearts stuff, which is really cool. Like there were people walking around with Keyblades, and I'm like, oh shit, look at this.
Yeah.
Nice. You know what my dark horse answer is for Smash? Goku.
Who's your dark horse?
It's Goku.
Get out.
No, I live here.
Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's too mean.
No. That would be like so. Can you just imagine I got an invitation, and he like powers up, like Goku powers up to battle. I'm like, that's so dumb. I'm in the fight Sonic.
You know what? A few years ago, I was like, yeah, Goku would be cool for Smash. Now, keep him out.
Keep him out.
Just no. I hate every time when a Smash character, when people start talking about it, there's always that one guy and I'm not saying you're that one guy, Ryan. There's always that one guy who's like, yeah, but what about Goku for Smash? It's like, no, just no. His moveset is so broken. No.
Well, that's not really fair because it's not like Solid Snake the human can fight Ganondorf the giant boar man. Like it's not about power levels in that game. Pikachu's fighting gods and stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like Mortal Kombat. Humans are fighting literally elder gods. Like it's not about the power levels.
I just don't want Goku.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fair. You can have your 7 freaking sword characters from all the final emblems, monsters. I'm sorry, I wanted somebody who shoots stuff from his hands. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
I don't know why, but over the years, I'm just like, people are constantly saying, it's like, Goku for Smash. I'm like, no, Goku not for Smash.
What if I told you people said the same thing about Sora?
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, Ben?
No, I believe it.
Everybody wants every character for Smash. That's what it is.
True. Very true.
They got the Duck Hunt dog, so who else do you really need?
I mean, that was them. Okay, them getting the Duck Hunt dog. That was them diving into Nintendo, into older. You know what? No, I was surprised they brought Rob in before they brought in the Duck Hunt dog, because Rob was in Brawl.
Yeah, he was the robot,
the toy robot that no one cared about.
Every character comes back. Every character.
Yeah. So actually, this actually brings up a question. So obviously, Smash Ultimate is one of the, if not the biggest fighting game ever made. Almost 100+ characters to choose from, and it's still a fun game that's still being played today, and people are probably going to be playing this for years to come. I don't want a sequel immediately, obviously, because we're just now getting these DLC characters. But do you think this could possibly be the last Smash Bros. Ever made?
No, but for a long time, yes.
I agree.
This is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No. You go.
Ultimate is exactly what it is. It's the ultimate version of Smash. It has every character who's ever been in the games, plus more. It has every stage. It is the ultimate collection. Like, unless there's no way to get bigger than this, you have to do something different. You have to start from scratch, and like you could have the same mechanics, but once you go this big, it's like Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Mortal Kombat Armageddon had 65 characters in it. Every character who's ever in a Mortal Kombat game was in that game. And then they rebooted it for Mortal Kombat 9, and the cast was slashed by 30%. They're gonna have to do that again if they really want to capitalize on the next game, because like you can't just do this again. Like they did it. You can't. This is not something you can just do again, because like it's just going to be diminishing returns. They went all in on Ultimate, like all in. So you have to start from the beginning again, because like, how do you get bigger than this? You can't, like, and just adding more characters is not going to make the game better. That's not. But you have to, like, you're going to have to change something.
Right. All right. What about you, Inga? What do you think?
I mean, I kind of fully agree. I mean, is it the last though? Maybe the last of like Smash as like Smash. I don't know. I think you would. It's a full-on reboot, possibly a different name. It could still have the same concept, but I mean, how many more characters where it's just at the end of the day, it's still a fighting game. Like, all you're doing is just saying like, oh, let's just pull in more characters somebody might want to fight with, but what? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, fighting games though can go on forever. I'll just contradict myself immediately and say that yes, they can go on forever, because people, that's what you like. You came to this game to do this thing. You came in to fight. So it doesn't matter that it's not different, new, or like innovative. No, you probably actually. I you know what? I recant. It can go on forever. It can go on forever.
You can't. I 100% agree. I just don't think, like, let's say they announce, okay, we're making another Smash Brothers. I don't know how it's bigger than this game. And if it is, I don't see how it's better, because I don't know how you get bigger and keep the quality level, because it's just massive. It's too big.
I would say that this is, I mean, I agree with both your points. I feel that for Smash Bros, like eventually we're gonna get a new Nintendo console that's not the Switch. They're gonna move on, and we're gonna probably get Smash Bros. I don't see how they can do more than what they did with Ultimate. I see them porting the game with all the DLC, like Smash Bros. Complete, to this new Nintendo console whenever we get that. But I
alluded to earlier,
yeah. So I feel like with this one, I don't feel that they dug themselves in the hole, because luckily with today's in the age of the internet, in the day of patches and adding stuff, because Nintendo and even other companies, they added stuff through update patches post-launch.
Yeah.
They've added new modes. They've added stuff for free. So I feel that if this game is the end-all be-all for Smash Bros., because like Ryan said, this is Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is the first time they named a Smash Bros. Oh, okay, not the first time, but this is one that actually had a legit subtitle, because it was Melee, then Brawl, then 3DS/Wii U, and now Ultimate. This is like the ultimate Smash Bros. We knew it was Ultimate because they straight up announced the first trailer. Everyone is here.
Yeah.
All the old characters, they're all here.
Yeah.
And more just keep getting added. So I feel that with this one is going to be, if we do hear new Smash Bros., it has to be a reboot. It has to be done 100% different. There's got to be new mechanics to it.
And I'm a big single player guy. I love single player stuff, and Smash Brothers, obviously it's like a fighting game. But there have been, like in Brawl, there was the Subspace Emissary, which I really, really enjoyed. And that's just like a really cool, like really long way of like unlocking all the characters, but like doing really cool challenges. And then Ultimate had the Spirit Board thing, which wasn't as cool to me, but is still pretty cool. But like, I think if they all right, we're gonna reboot it. We start from scratch. You make a really excellent, really cool like RPG, because there's some RPG mechanics in Ultimate where like with the spirit board and the stickers and stuff, and you can upgrade characters. They could do something really cool if you want to make this more of an RPG and like cut the cast in half, and then like you build the character you want to build. Almost like a Mortal Kombat. Almost like a Mortal Kombat where you can choose what attacks you want, or if you want to be more powerful, you want to be more speedy, you build the character you want. I think there's a market for that. I know, because I know that's my market.
There is. I feel
That's pretty good.
I feel like with the Subspace Emissary, because one of the things I loved about it is that how all the characters they explain is like, look, this is the world of Nintendo and friends, and every single like you get knocked out, you turn into a trophy, you hit the base, and then you're back and you're fine. I definitely
I don't need big lore for my Smash Brothers.
You don't need lore, but a story involving those characters is fun. I feel that would be fun to explore. That'd be fun to do. Because there's the theory is that like the story of Smash Bros is that, or as the games progress, is that you're a kid. Like the first Smash Bros is you're a kid playing with your Nintendo toys. Melee, you're a teenager. Brawl, you're an adult. Hence why the final villain of Subspace Emissary is named Taboo, because it's seen as taboo for adults to be playing with their old toys.
Yeah, master hands, those supposed to be human hands. Yeah,
that's the hands that you're doing. One is like, okay, this is cool. Then this is the crazy hand is the non-dominant one, because you can't really control your non-dominant hand that well.
Bro, imagine, oh my god, imagine like the next game you are master hand.
Oh wow.
And it's like an RPG. Oh, see, I'm just making these games that'll never come out.
Imagine that master hand is the final character in Smash Bros.
Jesus, he's like half the size of the screen.
They'll probably minimize them. It's like master hand.
God. Oh no, they get Glover from Hamburger Helper.
Oh my god, is that his name? Glover?
No,
I'm pretty sure it's Glover.
No, Brian. There was a game called Glover for the N64.
N64?
Yeah.
It was a platformer where you were a sentient glove. I had that game.
Oh. I feel like my brother played that too.
Oh man,
you guys love Hamburger Helper too much.
It wasn't nothing involved with Hamburger Helper.
It's a platformer.
It was a platformer in the vein of Mario 64, but it was bad.
That's so funny.
I just know his little face from the grocery store.
I'll have to send you a picture of Glover's. I'll have to send you that. All right. Well, we've been going a little bit long, and I have to say thank you guys so much for doing this. Ryan, actually, thank you for telling me the idea.
Yeah, I was on YouTube, and it was like, E3 is coming soon. What do you think is going to happen? I'm like, ooh, I want to talk about that stuff. So yeah, thanks for shepherding the idea.
Yeah, and Inga, thank you so much for coming back on Basement Arcade to talk about E3.
No, thank you for having me. Sorry for all my rumors, but
no, you're kidding me. Those are some good rumors.
I love rumors.
It was fun, super fun.
Yeah. So, Inga,
so real quick, we didn't really talk about this, but like we made predictions. So we have to talk again to see if these predictions came true.
We do.
So we have not scheduled this, but like I'm saying it now. We're gonna do another episode talking about after E3 to see if any stuff came true.
I want to. Unfortunately, Inside Baseball here, recording wise, that's gonna be after E3 is done and over with. Sadly, because I'm gonna be out of town when that happens. But we will do an episode where three of us come back together and talk about what happened, because I do want to do that.
We'll make it work.
I like it.
We will make it work. An episode, our post E3 episode will, of course, come out. But once again, Ryan and Inga, thank you again so much for joining me and just sitting down talking about E3 predictions. This has been really fun. I guess what? We're the conductors, all aboard that E3 hype train, people. Tickets, please. Let's go.
Yay.
All right. So that will, I believe that's a good spot to end it today. So I am Ben Magnet. You can find me anywhere on the internet at Ben Magnet27. I'm mostly on Instagram and Twitter. On my Instagram page, I'm posting a whole bunch of pictures of my adorable cat, who is thankfully calmed down and is sleeping in the cat tree and not sneaking in my roommate's room. And also, Ryan and I, we're hosts of the Fake Nerd podcast. We're 2 of the 4 hosts of the Fake Nerd podcast. And when this comes out, hopefully this will come out tomorrow. When this comes out, tomorrow is our 5-year anniversary.
Oh, well, congrats on 5 years.
Thank
so much commitment.
So much commitment. So definitely keep an eye on this on the YouTube channel and on the audio feeds, because we already recorded our anniversary special, but Sparks made an amazing game show for us to play. Inga, seriously, it's long, but you will love it. It is so funny.
Definitely check it out.
With it.
It's a good time.
Amazing.
All right, so Ryan, where can people find you on the internet?
Hey, you could find me everywhere at DJ Tony Snark. I love talking about comic books and cat stuff. What's up?
And Inga, I mentioned earlier, you are one of 2 hosts of Adults Talking Anime Plus, which you can find on Stitcher, Google, iTunes, all the great places where you can listen to podcasts. But where else can they find you on the internet?
You guys can find us on Instagram at Adults Talking Anime. You can actually also check us out more now on YouTube. The podcast is actually on a little hiatus, but we are now going live 2 to 3 times a week, doing really quick like anime bites or anime plus ultra bites. And we just go live and just pick a topic and just go really fast. So you can check us out at the Adults Talking Anime Plus, or Adults Talking Anime Plus podcast is the YouTube channel that you can watch those live episodes on, and then the Instagram is the best way to get us, or on Twitter at ATA.
Love it.
Yes, and also Inga, you'll be happy to hear that both my roommate and my girlfriend are pressuring me to start Demon Slayer, so I could finally sit down and watch all of Demon Slayer, so then I could finally come to your show.
Good. Yes,
I know it's good. I love the theme song. The theme song is a bop. I've been listening to the theme song. And I just need to watch the damn anime.
I've been on Netflix and I've almost pressed play on it. Like, I'm not joking, like 5 times. And I'm like, because once I started, I'm gonna want to watch all of it.
Well, first of all, there's no second season yet. So you're only watching, it's only 26 episodes. I know only 20, but it's only 26 episodes. And the movie just came out. So the movie will be coming to your TV in June or July at this point. You'll be able to just stream it. And that is the in-between season 1 and season 2. So you watch that, and season 2 should be coming out, maybe, that's my prediction, later this year.
Nice. I love that animes are starting to make more like movies. Like, I know My Hero's had a couple movies that we've watched. Those are really fun. I had just assumed, because anime is always long form, I assumed Demon Slayer had like 600 600 and I'm like, I'm cool. 1 season, I could do that. No problem.
Yeah, it's only 1.
Yeah, I really have like no excuse now, because it's only 1 season, super short. I could get through it. It's not like My Hero where I have like 4 or 5 seasons to get through.
Yeah, you're now is actually a good time to start, because you get that whole season. You didn't have to wait the 2 years. You have the movie, and again, it's not concrete, but I'm pretty sure that they will debut season 2 in December. That's my prediction.
Awesome. That's your non-E3.
Yeah, that's my non-E3 but anime prediction.
Oh man, yep, I gotta watch it. I just have to sit down and force myself to watch this damn thing.
Just push past 2 to 3 episodes. By the 3rd episode, you'll be super hooked.
Okay, I can push through 2 episodes. That's not that big of a deal.
Push it
real good. And also, don't forget, everyone, to like and subscribe to the Fake Nerd Podcast. We have, besides Basement Arcade Pause Menu, we have so many other shows. We have the Mothership Show, which we're still doing live. We're not going to be doing live quarantine casts, but we will be doing live recordings. So that's going to be fun. We're going to figure that out later in the future, because myself, Ryan, and Brandon Sparks, we've all gotten vaccinated. So we feel safe to finally get together and hang out with each other, because we haven't done that in a long ass time.
Oh, yeah.
So we have the Fake Nerd Podcast. We have the Fake Nerds Book Club, which we just finished putting up all of our episodes, both in audio and visual form. We just talked. Our last one was Little Char Game. Our new one, Gotham Academy, is coming up soon. We have Fake Nerds Watch. That's coming back, because Loki is coming out this week. Holy shit, Loki's coming out this week.
Loki's out this week.
Oh my god. So we're gonna be talking about Loki soon, and also check out Brandon's new show. Brandon has a show called Conversation, which is really, really fun. You should totally talk to Brandon and go on episodes of Conversation. Just saying.
Okay.
Yes, tomorrow. It's true.
Find us.
It's a really good. It's a show. Conversation is a show where he talks to other podcasters and explores their fandom and explores like their relationship with fandom. It's really good. I highly recommend it. I've listened to all of his episodes, and I'm like, man, I gotta bug him to get me on that show someday, because this seems like a good fun time just to sit down and just talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have that. And also we have go to fakenerdpodcast.com. We have links to our Patreon. We have links to our TeePublic there. We have links to our own personal blogs, even though I haven't updated mine in God knows how long.
To our OnlyFans.
not that. We also, guys, if you decide to go on Patreon, as far as I know, we have less than a month to get this quarter's Patreon exclusive T-shirt, which is saying that you are Stephen King's best friend.
Because everyone knows, if you're a fan of the Fake Nerd podcast, Ben is Stephen King's best friend.
I cannot wait until July happens. So when I do these shows, I can mention the new T-shirt and not the Stephen King best friend one.
Sorry, you got a whole month. You got a whole month first.
I'm looking forward to that part. I'm looking forward to that. And let's see, did I skip anything else? Nope. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on our socials. Once again, one last time, Inga, thank you so much for coming on. I know it was very last second, but
thank you. Thanks for having me.
As always, if you ever just want to come on and talk video games, just hit me up. You have an open invite to the show. I don't care when or when. Just be like, hey, let's do a pause menu. I'm like, cool, let's go.
I love it.
Ryan, of course, I do the show with you all the time, so you're more than welcome to come back. I love having
I'm
you on.
Always talking.
Yep. So keep those E3 predictions safe somewhere when we talk about it next time. But for now, unpause.